Basketball is coming back, people, and I could not be more excited. Welcome to today's video. This is great news. I wanted to wait a little bit to make sure that I didn't jump on this and it ended up being wrong, because I did that before with baseball, and look where we're at with that. It looks like baseball will most likely not have a season. That's what it's trending towards. But basketball, this is some positive light, some positive news, and we're going to get caught up on it. I'm going to read some of it to you guys. I'm going to tell you about it, and I'm going to give you my championship prediction and who I think is going to win it all. Let's look at this. So if you type in NBA right now, this is the current news. The first article says, sources, NBA will use winning percentage to determine standings. Next, we got shut out of Disney World. Where do these NBA teams go next? Wait, are they not going to play at Disney World in Orlando? I thought that's where all this was taking place. Oh, okay, I understand now. These 8 teams will not be part of the league's conclusion. In Florida, now shift their attention to the future, and some have some brighter futures than others. So, basically what this is saying, only 22 of the 30 NBA teams will be continuing their season. Let me find an article that talks about that so we can dive into that. The NBA has a return to play plan in place. What's next? And it says right down here, a training camp will start June 30th and last a week. All teams will fly to Orlando on July 7th, 3 weeks before the restart of the season. Basketball is coming back. Not all teams will be invited. It's only 22 teams. You can see right here. Why did the NBA settle on 22 teams? If the league restarted with only 16 teams, it would be among the safest and quickest ways to return to basketball and declare a 2020 champion. But there were other factors involved, and that is the remaining 6 teams they added to that have a chance at a number 8 seed, which is the last possible seed for playoffs. But where were we? Yes, we have the June 30th is when training camps are going to start. Fly to Florida, where this will all take place. Ready to move together toward the July 31st tip. Yes, July 31st is when the season is coming back. It is going to be amazing to have basketball back. I am so excited, especially since it's going to be playoff basketball. There's going to be 8 regular season games. I'm not sure what those games are yet. Let's see right here. Why did the NBA decide to come back now? Basically, Adam Silver said he wanted to wait till coronavirus infections started to come down. We're looking for availability on testing on a large scale, because it's only going to be these NBA players, and I believe their families that are all going to be at Disney World at the ESPN, like, Worldwide Sports Center or something. They're all going to be playing here. They're going to be in one area. So I'm excited. I cannot wait for this season to come back. I cannot wait to see how this is going to go down. How long will this take to play out? Let's see. So July 31st, with the season set to start on July 31st, that means the remainder of the season at most would be completed in no more than 74 days. If there is no need to play in tournaments to establish the 8 seeded teams, the start of playoffs could be moved up several days. The NBA is expected to be aggressive in moving the dates to start playoff series when the previous round series comes to an end. The schedule. The regular season will extend 16 days with 5 to 6 games per day. Wow. The NBA has granted these seeding games, it says right there, and that is going to be the games that are going to try and help the 6 teams that are outside of playoffs but still have a chance at that 8 seed. So it looks like they're going to be using 3 different facilities to play all these games. You got the Arena. Is it simply just called the Arena? That's pretty sick. HP Fieldhouse, and then Visa Athletic Center, all at the Wide World of Sports Complex, which is at Disney World in Orlando. As things progress, it will be reduced to 2 sites and then 1. There will be 4 hours between games in each individual court to accommodate overtimes, cleanings, and warm-ups. I like how solid of a plan they have. This sounds good. And can you imagine, like, obviously fans are not going to be allowed there, but could you imagine being a fan and being able to be there? That would be so cool to have all these epic players and these teams in one location, and you're just a fan enjoying it all. But you know where I'll be. I will be watching these games. I cannot wait. As long as there's a sport that is back, thank goodness it is one that I like. The 3 sports that I like. It's basically the 3 mains, and that is baseball, football, and basketball. I'm so happy we have basketball back. Thank goodness. Football looks like it's going to be back on track. Looks like they won't be delayed, hopefully. And baseball, I'm just hoping for you at this point, honestly. Will there be back-to-backs? In the 8-game regular season format, each team is expected to play 1 back-to-back. Okay. The NBA Finals format is expected to include games every other day. I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. Will these games count towards the regular season? Yes, in addition to teams fighting for the 8th seed in a potential play-in tournament. Teams firmly in the playoffs will also be jockeying for seeding. Okay, so they're still going to have to fight for their seeding. The teams that are outside are going to try to fight to get inside. And let's see. Oh, this is important. How often will there be testing? Let me read some of this. Epidemiologists have said this is what the NBA needs in order to ensure the safest situation possible for everyone involved. It remains unclear what kind of testing there will be. It would prefer a testing method other than the nasal. You know, have you guys seen those videos where they stick that long Q-tip all the way? Like, it looks like it's going to your brain. And I honestly think, isn't that what they do? They like take a swab of your, oh, that painful. They want to find better methods around that, which was viewed as invasive and uncomfortable. Yeah, I have been told and I've seen videos and it looks bad. It just does not look comfortable at all. And it does say right here they will be doing everything possible to make sure everybody stays healthy. You got social distancing, temperature checks, use of masks when appropriate, and sanitizing. Imagine if they had them play in masks. That would be probably very hard to breathe, and it would be very uncomfortable. Here's an answer for all the teams that are not going to be participating in the rest of this season. Teams that are not traveling to Orlando are expected to participate in a mini camp of sorts later this year in order to avoid a nearly 10-month layoff between gameplay. What exactly OTAs looks like and whether teams that exit the bubble early will take part remains unclear. Let me find out what teams those are, because I'm not even positive which 8 teams are not going to be invited to this. Look at that. This website's already got it highlighted for us. What's next for the bottom 8 teams? The bottom 8 teams are the Hornets, Bulls, Knicks, Pistons, Hawks, Cavaliers, Timberwolves, and Warriors. They will not be going to Orlando and taking part in these 8 games and the playoffs. Oh, I just read this after all that. Vince Carter's last game. We saw it and we didn't even know that was going to be his last game because the Hawks are part of those teams. So, Vince Carter, you've had an amazing career, and that sucks. That is a terrible way to go out. I really wish he could have gone out, like, you know, on a pedestal, wow. Here's a better confirmation for all this. Each NBA's team presumed remaining schedule as 22-team plan officially approved for Orlando. I'm trying to find a list right now of the 22 teams. Oh wow, this is actually really nice. Somebody put all the 22 teams right here and the opponents they are going to play. It says it's not official, but based on the above criteria, it's a pretty safe bet. Let me read out the teams first that will be headed to Orlando to take part in this 22-team thing, the 8-game schedule and then the playoffs. Celtics, Knicks, Mavericks, Nuggets, Rockets, Pacers, Clippers, Lakers, Grizzlies, Heat, Bucks, Pelicans, Thunder, Magic, 76ers, Suns, Trailblazers, Kings, Spurs, Raptors, Jazz, Wizards. Bucks are ahead of us right now, but we could push ourselves ahead. We got to play the Jazz twice, and I don't know how comfortable I would feel with that, especially since the outbreak in the NBA started with the Jazz. And then Raptors, we got a tough schedule too, okay? So it's not easy on us. I was just scrolling through news under NBA right now, and Bronny James Jr. reveals his top 5 favorite NBA players. You know what? Let's take a break for a second. Let's look at his top 5 favorite NBA players. Giannis, James Harden, Damian Lillard, Anthony Davis, and Kevin Durant all ended up on his list. He didn't even name his own dad. Wow, I think that's kind of funny. But I mean, I get why he didn't name his dad. Obviously, it's his dad, and obviously his dad is his #1 favorite player. But these are the other 5 right here, and that's a good 5 right there. I also want to point this out. Kevin Durant, my season is over. I don't plan on playing at all. That was 1 day ago as I'm filming this. He confirms what multiple other reports had been saying for months. Obviously, he wants to remain healthy. There's another one. Kevin Durant says he won't return for the NBA playoffs, which shouldn't surprise anybody. Yeah, he tore his Achilles last year, right? Wasn't it? I don't know. It was a terrible injury, and he doesn't want to risk it coming back for this short amount of time, which makes sense. Oh wow, I just found this. NBA teams expected to be allowed to sign replacement players in case of positive COVID-19 test. Let me read more into this. Earlier this week, both the Board of Governors and the players voted to move ahead with the NBA's return on July 31st at Disney World in Orlando. Now that a plan is in place and everyone has agreed on a format and schedule, the league can start figuring out some details. Among them is what to do in case of injury or positive COVID-19. Oh wow, if COVID-19 or a serious injury strikes a team during training camps or the 8 regular seeding games, there's expected to be no limitations on the number of players a team could sign to replace those lost, but there would be restrictions on those in the pool of eligible players. Okay. See, for like example, say something happens to the Lakers. I hope nothing does. We could get DeMarcus Cousins back because we let him go before all this happened. Either way, this is great news. Basketball is coming back, and now I'm going to tell you who I think will be in the NBA championship and who I think is going to win it. First team I think will be in the NBA championship is the Milwaukee Bucks. They got the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he's basically unstoppable. How do you think he got the name Greek freak? This dude is a monster. He's on a dominant path, and this team I think will do very well. I think they will find themselves all the way into the NBA championship. And who do I think they will be playing? My Lakers, baby. That's right. I think it's going to be a Lakers-Bucks NBA championship, and I think it's going to go to 7 games. I think it's going to be a very entertaining championship. It's going to be very unique, obviously, with the way the world is right now. We got LeBron James. We got Anthony Davis. And I think we got the talent. I think we got the chemistry to win it all. I think the Lakers will win the NBA championship in 7 games under this new format. I'm so glad that this sport was able to come back and finish its season because the Lakers were on such a dominant path, and they know that. I'm very confident that they think they can win it all. The fan base is right there by their side. And if you made it to the end of this video, everybody, then I want you to comment what you think of the NBA season returning. I'm very happy about this. I know many people are. Who do you think is going to win the NBA championship? Comment that too. Like the video, subscribe, tell your mom, your dad, your grandma, and grandpa, your pets, your friends, everybody know I got this, and I will see you next time.